Hi, Capricorn. So did you really think that I was going to do your reading before the solstice? But did you think that I was going to do it after? Like way after? No, of course not. You're the only sign that I actually look at all the timings for before I do your video. You are Earth cardinality, rulers of the earth, right? This is your domain. So the way everything moves and the timing is very important for you in particular, or else nothing really comes through. It's a very Capricorn way to be. You got to do it. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it right. Or don't do it. So let me tell you a little story before we start. I have perhaps in the past been referred to as a Grinch when it comes to Christmas. It's not a religious thing at all. I went to Catholic schools my whole life. Like, it's not a religious thing. It's not like I'm anti-religion or anything. Not at all. I don't know. It's always just seemed a little syrupy to me. It's very sweet. It's very nice. Everyone is together. Everyone is happy. And I'm like Virgo moon in the corner, like, you know, never really gotten it. I have friends who are dour in many ways, and yet still they find my lack of Christmas spirit troubling. And I've never really examined it. I just, you know, let it go. Like, I just let it be, right? Dating someone who isn't Christian, isn't white, like a brown guy who loves Love Actually and loves to watch it every Christmas. And I'm like, that's weird. You know, like, wow, that's a lot of Christmas spirit you got there. Why? You know, just never been able to quite grasp it. Maybe because I also like understand that it's not really Christ's birthday and it's Saturnalia and it's a whole different, it's actually a pagan, you know, maybe that's it. I'm not sure. Or perhaps because the myth of Santa Claus is really about Siberian magic mushroom consumption. You know, I don't know. But then yesterday, the longest night of the year, I unexpectedly was asked to drive about 20 minutes from here. And, you know, it was very dark country roads. And when I left the house, there was you can see it on my Instagram, there's a Maine Coon cat, beautiful, majestic black cat, sitting right on the steps outside the house. And, you know, just sitting there staring at me. So I already knew. I was like, okay, this drive is going to be interesting. Like, we've got like a black cat, longest night of the year, unexpected drive through the forest. Like, okay, Capricorn, let's, you know, what do you need me to know? So I'm driving, I'm listening to something instrumental, no words. You know, I've been going through like a emotional roller coaster of my own, so wasn't really trying to hear anything with words. And it's really dark. There's no road lamps or anything. You just have to drive with your high beams on. With your brights on, whatever you call them, high beams. Not even first generation, born in a different country. Yes, we say high beams. So I'm driving. I'm like avoiding it because it was so beautiful. Why am I such a Grinch? Anyway, so I'm driving and it's super dark. And a house comes up on the left. And there it is in the darkness, surrounded by fog on the darkest night of the year. And it is lit up. And it was so beautiful. And like that, you know, I just got it. I got it. I got what I wanted to talk to you guys about. I got what the whole Christmas spirit thing is about. I got what all the decorating and all the, you know, people getting so excited, watching the same movie every year. I got all of it because it was visceral. I know what I felt because it was so dark. You know, you guys are born at such a dark time of the year. and I can't help but think that the brightest lights have to be born in the darkest time. Which of course made me think of my brothers, who I love so much, you know. Anyway, I don't know why that's so like touching to me, but it was so beautiful, and it was such like a beacon of hope. Like, yes, it's the darkest night of the year, but look, we have hope that it'll get light again. And in the meantime, here is really pretty, really well done little spark of light to keep you going and to give you a little solace in the dark. You know, and I just got it, and I was so moved. And it made me think of you guys, of course, and your season and what it is that why would the cardinal earth be this time of year? The cardinal signs bring in the seasons, right? So why would we need your personality to be that lit up, you know, house in the dark, that Christmas tree, that decorated Christmas tree, my one string of lights on that tree out there, you know, that even though I thought it was so pathetic and like what kind of lame attempt at decorating, when I see it driving home, you know, I can see it as I'm driving up. There is that like, hey, you know, everything is good. Like, I got this. It's under control. It's handled, you know? And I get why Capricorns are like that now. You guys are the... Why is it so emotional for me? Anyway, so being the light in the dark, having Saturn come home, which happens today, what now? An emergence for sure, but which way do we go? Where do we go now? Where do we go? It's fine and well to be the light in the dark, and you're up. It's your time. You know, take the stage. But now what? Now you've got 3 years of being on stage, and the best teacher in the world, man. Your teacher, but the best teacher there is for any sign. Why do you think you guys are so good at stuff? Man, because you get taught hard. Like, you know, there are these schools in Russia where they teach tennis based on muscle memory. You just train the child over and over again to use the muscle perfectly to hit or serve with the maximum speed and force. And it's not about hitting the ball. Sorry, camera flash. It's not about hitting it hard or fast. It's just about getting the motion right. Why? So you do it so many times that the muscle memory is so precise and perfect that when you get out there on a court and, you know, something comes flying at you very, very, very fast, you're not thinking about hitting the ball. Your muscles are so trained and they have such a, you know, distinct and clear memory of how to react to that it just, boom, you just do it, right? So working behavior into the subconscious as opposed to the conscious mind. In that same way, Saturn works you guys. It's about doing it perfectly. It doesn't matter if you don't get a result the first time. That's not what it's about. It's about the effortlessness with which success can be achieved if every step is done right. And now that all the steps have been, if the steps have been done right, then you're at a point now where you're looking around and going, yeah, check me out. I did everything right. And if the steps haven't been done right, then you perhaps are going back, you know, to that, let's try this again, let's try this again, let's try this again. And as someone who's just had Saturn in a precarious placement, I can tell you that that is Saturn's MO. Let's try it again. Oh, you didn't learn? Let's do it again. Oh, that hurt? Okay, it's gonna hurt worse next time, but let's try it again. Let's do it until you get it. First card out, King of Wands. Always a card I associate with the dad, right? Whenever I read, it's always the card associated with the father, and that's what we're talking about. Saturn also is referred to as father. You know, Saturn is time. So time and the structures that time builds, time being what ties us to this earthly plane. Now you can see how all these things work together. See, it's not a coincidence that the devil is your card. It's about, the devil is just a symbol of paganism. It's a symbol of nature and nature worship, right? So Saturn, your planet, is the ruler of time and structures are time sensitive, right? We only have the experiences we have because we are time sensitive. If we were immortal, we wouldn't have the experiences we have, right? That's why every vampiric film or movie or novel is about the existential crisis that one goes through. What the hell? It's an ant. Oh. What are you doing here? Okay, well, I'm not going to kill it. I'm not going to kill animals. Anyway, Knight of Cups. I'm right on the beach here, so it makes sense that there'd be, you know, stuff. 8 of Swords. 9 of Cups. Good. I like it. I like it a lot, actually, because I feel this for you guys. It is not just a liberation. It's like a total turnaround and then some. Total turnaround and then a little bit more too, right? So time can mess with you if it becomes the ruler of you as opposed to you doing things with it, right? So if you feel like time is crouching down on you, or like you're crouching down under the weight of it, then Saturn comes in and is like, hold on, first of all, slow down. You don't have to get anywhere right now. You've got 3 years to do this, okay, until you learn exactly the motion you want and then practice it. Stop rushing, because immediately, starting today, you will start to feel, whereas when Saturn comes into other signs' first houses, they feel, you know, immediately like, you know, like the day Saturn came into my house of relationships, my relationship ended. Everything was like the Tower card. The day, I was like, what? How on the day, dude, right? Not for you guys. For you guys, Saturn comes in and is right away like, no, we don't need to be here. This is not real. This is not real. I'm home. Relax. Okay? Relax. I got this. You're here, whether you realize it or not, and you've got 3 years to fill in the blanks. Okay? Total turnaround in terms of mood. The other card out is the Knight of Cups. There is a love situation, Capricorn, that has to be dealt with. I am not saying it's your fault. I'm getting out of that game. I'm getting out of this like, oh, you guys did this or they did this. Listen, all I know is something is wrong. Someone is being very, very, very hurt. And from their point of view, they feel like you are enjoying hurting them, which is bad karma. We don't want that. So if you do have a situation, that's something I'm going to look at in the extended, actually, the Knight of Cups, because there have been so many comments on the other videos from December and also the few that are up for January, where water signs and fire signs, actually, for that matter, have been talking about Capricorns and just feeling, you know, very much this energy. Just like, I feel so alone with this because he or she is just not around. They've stopped responding to me. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to, you know, like they feel very stuck and anxious and at a loss for how to deal with you. And, you know, if you're watching because you are in love with a Capricorn or you're trying to understand what's going on with them, I feel like from the outside, there are a lot of people who will feel alone with their thoughts about Capricorns because Capricorns are going through something way heavier and way more, important word here, personal than usual. People don't understand how outwardly motivated Capricorns are. It's always about everybody, even their need to be liked, even your need to be kind of game show hosty about certain things. It's always to put others at ease. You know, you are the gracious host and life is your party and you are the host of this party and you want to make sure that everything is, you know, handled. And when you have such a personal transit happening, there is some of that that's going to go out the window. There is going to be aspects of you that are like, you know, I need to not be that cardinal ruler of, you know, social, sensual experience right now. I don't want to do that. I need to, you know, cook back some of this energy, take back this energy and use it for myself. And what do I need to use it for? This is a very fundamental change for you, the process that you're starting. You have not been under the reign or the tutelage of this sort of energy for a long time. For some of you, for the first time, okay? You will not have time or mental space to be as perhaps kind or understanding as you should be to anyone who's trying to advance in terms of love with you. You won't be. And you're not the type to be like, you know, I'm going through something really personal and there's a lot of introspection going on. You guys are not going to do that. I mean, for the simple fact that why should you have to? That's none of anybody's business, you know. Fuck out of here. You know, like I can just see all three of my brothers actually being like, is this your business though? Like, what are you saying right now? What are you saying right now? That's a good one. It's a very Capricorn. What are you saying right now? Like, it's like a threat, but it's a favor. Like, I'm giving you a chance to back out of this. What'd you say? Savage. So, moving forward. 9 of Cups, such a good energy. You know, getting in touch with your feelings, man. Getting in touch with the boss is home. The boss is like, what do you want? I got you. But like, come at me with something real that you can work on and get better at and, you know, build that muscle memory with. But if it's real and you got a good idea, you know, you're up. Capricorns are on Shark Tank. Yeah. You guys are on Shark Tank. And the universe is, you know, the people who are going to invest in and what are your ideas about? Not to make money, not for business. It's about this now. It's about restructuring. What did I say? Saturn restructures that which is built by time. We are built by time. Our bodies, our bones, our teeth, right? Time, all time sensitive. So now you get a chance to remake that which you build with time, internally and externally. Is it any wonder that yesterday, of all the days, I would finally look at something traditional, deeply traditional, you know, because for the Danes, Christmas and lighting up and all that isn't just about Christ. I mean, this is a pagan culture that goes back thousands and thousands of years, and the people here are very homogenized in terms of genetics. They've been here forever, and they have had to contend with this winter for a long time. You know, all the stuff in Game of Thrones about the North. This is the North. You know, winter is coming. This is what they're talking about, right? You don't survive these sort of climates or this sort of terrain without being deeply respectful of tradition. Tradition is what's keeping you alive. How do I mean? I mean, in all nature-based societies, in all agrarian societies, agriculture, confined systematic agriculture, also very Saturnian, right? What do you need to know? You need to know what the person before you who was doing this did, because they know something you don't know. And that person learned from the person who was doing it before them, and they knew something that you don't know. And so what you're being passed, if you're a farmer, if you're a miller, if you're a fisherman, what you're being passed is, ostensibly 1,000 years of knowledge on how to do said thing, how to grow wheat, how to raise cows, how to survive the winter. Emotionally, physically, how to survive the winter. These things are all based on tradition. Tradition comes from things that we piece together here and there, to keep us alive because they worked. And so when people, buck tradition or, turn their nose up at tradition, it is the Capricorn personality to be like, right, but you got running water and electricity though. Right. It's real easy to hate the system when you have heating and running water. You know what I mean? This is the Capricorn mentality. Like, don't knock the structure. Just because you're on some sort of kick of individuality. You can be as individual as you like and still have deep respect for tradition. And so what I'm saying is it any wonder that in your season on the day, that it's like darkness turns back into light, Capricorns, here we come, that would be the day that I would see something that would, for the first time, like I felt that, that needle of tradition where like I even knew that I needed it, that I need tradition too, that did something for me, it healed me, it gave me hope, it made me think of my brothers, and I just knew I get these feelings, I just knew I could see them both in my head, just like, and I was driving up a hill like this as I had the thought. I just knew that both of their lives were starting over and there was going to be this huge renewal and that they were going to completely come into their own, inshallah. I just knew it. And I was like hysterical crying as I was driving, just tears streaming down my face. I wasn't like bawling. I was just streaming tears because I felt it and I knew it. And I felt the peace and comfort that tradition can bring you. And so for the next 3 years, this is the energy that I have of accepting the structure, accepting Saturn coming into its own and its rulership and saying, okay, now everybody's going to play by the rules. I'm with it. And I think part of what makes a successful intuitive, excuse me, is being able to see a wave coming and catch it before it crashes down on you and kills you, right? So I can feel how tradition and corporations and the law and structure and everything now comes to a place where it's like, listen, you need us. You can be as rebellious as you want, but you need us. And we need you to understand that on an ideological level and have a visceral reaction to it, emotionally understand that we are just as necessary as any Uranian rebellious instinct that you may have. I got it. I get it. Because, if I had looked over, let me put it to you like this. If I had looked over, it was so dark. Even with my brights on, it was so dark. And I had that black cat, the image in my head of it just looking at me like, you sure you want to take this drive? Are you ready? And I was like, what am I, driving to my death? Like, what's going on here? This is so dramatic. If I had, driven past that house, and instead of just this gorgeous, and they had like a Santa and the sleigh and everything like all over that, like it was just so cute. It was very well done. if I had driven past there and it was like a bando, you know, it was an abandoned house, it was a trap house with like an anarchy sign on it, and you know, maybe a string of broken lights or something, and a bunch of garbage out front, and a bunch of anarchists like squatting there and, you know, trading Bitcoin. Yeah, that would have scared the hell out of me. I would not have wanted to go there. It would not have inspired any sort of like happiness or tears or like my brothers are gonna do. None of that would have happened. None of that would have happened. And so what I'm saying is I am embodying, or what I am communicating to you now is the general energy that one must adopt as Saturn comes into Capricorn, which is, you know, there are a lot of things that are beautiful about the establishment and about structure. As someone who's sitting right by the water in, like I said, the north up by the Arctic Circle, and I'm warm and comfortable and can wear, you know, delicate paper thin, you know, sweaters, that's because I got heat. You know, thank you, Saturn, for making people smart enough and studious and disciplined enough to say, hey, let's get some running water and some heat going because we don't want to live like animals, right? So, moving forward, now that I'm done ranting, moving forward, I was just really excited about that. Anyway, so in the extended, we'll take a look at the Knight of Cups and the Eight of Swords more, but let's move forward. All right, turned around, turn back around, Temperance card. So if you're dealing with a Sag, you could be dealing with a Sag. If you're dealing with a Sag, or you're dealing with a Virgo, because this can also be a Virgo, or let's be very general here, because if you don't know all their placements or whatever, that's going like right over your head, right? What is this energy? This is how I break down the cards in the book too. It'll be out in February, inshallah, hopefully by February, maybe March. What is this? It doesn't have to be a sign. It's a certain energy. What kind of energy is this? This is the energy of someone who is having a really, really hard time balancing the fears in their mind and the feeling in their heart. So why didn't I say the feeling in their mind? Or because there is no feeling in the mind. It's fear. The only thing produced up here is fear, right? Even at the back of it, even behind ambition, there is fear, right? Here, there is feeling. This is someone who is having a really hard time either balancing that feeling with some healthy self-preservational fear, which we need, or someone who is completely racked by fear and cannot in any way for the life of them connect to a sense of hope or a sense of, you know, a lit house in the dark giving you some sort of inspiration, you know, that things will spark something here in the feeling center. This may be you. It's possible. Or if you're attracting a partner that is having this, you know, is in this quandary, it's because they're reflecting that within you. You are on some level going through that if you're attracting it. So either way, it comes back around to you. And Saturn is not as unfeeling as people make it seem, or those that, you know, practice a kind of like predictive fear-based astrology. It's full of feeling. It's, you know, like no one is, I've never been around siblings who are as affectionate as my brothers are towards me. They're so affectionate. Like it's crazy. You know, in my presence, not in my presence, like you can't say anything about me. They're very, very emotional, right? But it's like a no nonsense emotional, okay? No nonsense emotional. So Saturn comes in and is like, if you're too much no nonsense and not enough emotion, or if you're too emotional and not enough no nonsense, Saturn's coming in to be like, all right, let's balance this out. The important thing to remember here is that unlike the Tower, unlike, right, the calamity of, say, the I Ching, the shock hexagram, this is a relatively peaceful process. Sure, water getting moved around, you could experience a little emotional vertigo, okay, but you can deal with that. she is standing, or he, sorry, is standing in the abundant waters of life, right? Eternal life. This is to show you, it's to illustrate to you that when you let yourself allow this process to happen within yourself, you gain access to the infinite. It's very powerful, right? So, Temperance card. Let me show you what it's looking like so far. Oh, that's annoying. Hold on. Okay, let's keep going. Ooh. Okay, all right. I'll take it. So, Four of Wands. Restructuring can be very positive. Restructuring gives you the ability to start with the basic, very firm foundation. And it is a time of consolidation and reworking. And this can definitely be seen as a card of consolidation, or having to claim what is yours financially. This could be in terms of an impending divorce. It could be in terms of legality, something you have going on, but there is a need on your part to stake claim to that materially which you think reflects your value. And this coming cycle that you have, these 3 years, this will be a big theme for you. Not holding on and grasping to money, no. More about being able to say, listen, I earned this. Whether I'm sharing it with you or giving it to you or buying something from you or I'm married to you or whatever it is, let's be clear on how we got these coins. I got them, right? I did this. This is about not just knowing your value, because I don't think many of you have a problem with that. This is about being able to outwardly show that value, or have people acknowledge it. It's, the way Capricorn seeks acknowledgement isn't to get in someone's face and say, hey, did you see that I did this? Did you see that? This is more quiet. This is you standing with what is yours and just being very calm about it. Like, I'm chill, I know what's mine. And this can also apply because this is earth, okay? This can also apply to all that which is earth, right? Earth involves everything. Animals, humans, money, business, abundance, all the things that tie us to this particular realm. And this is you saying, this is my contribution in this realm and it is mine, right? Without ego, just to let me state this, okay? And, he's wearing a crown. So, in a positive, really calm, self-assured way, okay? Four of Wands, Four of Pentacles. Really stable, like right from jump, December 22nd, let's set it straight. Break the bones, set them straight, plaster them up, good to go. Break the bones, plaster them up, good to go, you're good, right? Now let's pull some outcome cards. So Temperance, breaking the bones, but doing it in a really nice way. Listen, I think after Saturn having to spend so much time in Sagittarius, which was just so annoying, right? Like, I don't think Saturn's gonna be that hard on you right now. I think it's just happy to be home. Like, sure, break the bones, set the bones, but like, I think, Saturn took a bit of glee breaking Sagittarius's bones, because they're so extra. The Saturn was like, okay, I'm really, like, y'all really need to be broken. And it comes home to you guys and it's like, oh, thank God. Already housebroken. Okay, good. All right. At least we don't have to do the fundamentals from, and even when the fundamentals, when you do it from scratch, it did come up. It did. Okay, it came up in reverse. Four of Wands, Four of Pentacles, Page of Swords in reverse. Listen, we have been talking about this air sign for the better part of a year. This is something that may finally fall apart now. And can I advise you, if I may be so bold, to take care of this situation because it's obviously still draining you? I know you guys move slow, and I know you're stubborn, and I know you have your reasons, and I know that, you know, you don't like to share your thought process, but there is... You need to be the magnanimous one in this situation. Be the bigger person, please. Let this person go. Don't hang on to someone that you know that you're doing this to. And in turn, also see yourself here, because you would want that kindness that you want to show this person. You would want that for yourself as well, no? And also realize that when you are kind to those who are in a subjugated position to you, that kindness is then reflected between you and the universe, right? Then you take that place and the universe is also kind to you. So very important here. Very important. To be this person to said air sign, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, because they're not doing well. They're hurting, and they may be like hurting themselves because of whatever. I'm not saying it's because of you, because I already said I know you're going through a lot. And no, this isn't the time to play, you know, guy smiley. I get it. But this is something that is a remnant from this previous cycle, and I don't see how you can truly, you know, honestly move forward with your Saturn transit like you need to and have it be the best of the best that it can be if you're going to drag old, painful, guilt-ridden, blame-ridden situations with you. Because as an air sign myself, I can tell you, you know, when we're wronged, we have a very hard time letting it go. And when we don't let something go, we're not throwing coins at you. You know what I'm saying? We're not throwing a stick at you. When we can't let something go, we got swords. We are really, really sharp knives. You know? Not cute. So, realizing gracious host, okay? Be the gracious host to not just the masses, but to everyone. And why? Because you realize that karmically what you're getting back for it is so beautiful, but also because it's the right thing to do. And that's what Saturn's going to be doing a lot of with you. It's all going to be about that muscle memory. And what's the exercise? Not this, but what's the right thing to do? And what does that mean? Because that's pretty objective, right? For everyone. What does that mean? What's the right thing to do? What's the helpful thing? What's the thing that maintains the tradition and the structure? What's the thing that maintains the structure of my body? Okay? What are the right things that put me on top, like the goat I am? Hey. Right? Goat. Everything now that Saturn will teach you will be about manifesting dominance. Why? Because it's what you are. Because you're a cardinal sign that turns dark to light. Dominance. That's like, duh. And Saturn comes home to be like, word, I got some tips and tricks for you. You know, major keys. Major keys. Just think of it as Tony Robbins being like in your ear for the next 3 years. Every time you turn around, he's like, did you save for taxes? Did you take out that 15%? Did you jump up and down today 20 times for your lymphatic system? Did you eat your, that's it. Saturn is Tony Robbins in your ear for the next 3 years going, how do we awaken the giant within? That's actually the name of a Tony Robbins book that changed my life. Awaken the giant within. That's what you're going to be doing. It's all towards this feeling. Now, for a lot of signs, this card isn't the best card. I mean, it's great because it shows that you've got one up, but that's not what it is for a Capricorn. See, you guys live up here already. I think the fun thing about this card for you is that the more people come against you, the better you guys do. It's a real motivator for you. For a lot of people, it hurts their feelings when people stand against them. For some people, they fold under the pressure, the meanness of it. For others, they just can't comprehend what would motivate someone to behave that way, and therefore they don't know how to counteract it. You guys have fun with it. You're more than aware of why these people are standing against you. You're probably even more aware of their subconscious intentions, right? Their unconscious intentions, their ulterior motives that they may not even be privy to. You understand all the motivation behind their, coming against you, but their opposition to you. But that's what makes it so fun. It's a game. This is fun for you to constantly, in many, many different ways against many different adversaries, to prove your dominance again and again. And be able to, sit on top of that mountain with a big stick and be like, ha! Goat! Right? So in the extended, which I'm going to do right now, we'll take a look at what's going on under here and talk more in terms of emotion. So let's go back now and look at these cards and ask an intelligent question. Okay, which I can already answer from what's on the table. So what would be the intelligent question? Just so we're not doing fear-based astrology and fear-based divination and tarot reading, we want to really be able to apply this to our inner life and use this the way Jung used archetypes. And many people don't realize that tarot is one of the first forays that we had into psychoanalytic thought. Because what it is a group of archetypes that you can shuffle out, and you can look at them in a way with the eye of seeing each one as a part of you, as something that's going on within you. Okay, so let's look at this now and ask a smart question in terms of the inner workings of you, and what do you need to know moving forward in here? What will help you be able to have the energy to do this again and again? Because you will have to do it again and again, right? Of course, because Saturn wants to see if you can do it. Oh, I was like, what is that shiny thing? Okay. So, what do you need to know? I think that it's really hard to get to your fun place, okay? When your conscience is heavy. I think this is a place that requires emotional lightness, mental lightness. This is not this kind of constant battle and winning and going back out and battling more and winning. And, this is not something that can be sustained when you have baggage and pain. It requires the sacrifice that must be made for greatness is your morality has to straighten out. Your karma and what you do to others has to even out, and you have to find yourself in an even place with the universe before you can be given the gas to really go with your dominance and win. Whenever a Capricorn isn't winning, okay, a large part of that is because you're doing something that you yourself do not approve of. So for me, what sticks out here, obviously, is the reverse card, but it's a card that we've dealt with, an energy that we've dealt with over and over and over again. You have to rectify whatever it is within you, whether you do it with this person or you do it within you. You must rectify that which is keeping you from feeling like you're truly great. Because the thing about the goat, okay, the thing about this dude is that he can only maintain that position there, that strategic position of dominance, because he knows he can, right? This causes gaps in your confidence. You may not realize it, but when you engage in behavior, whether you did it or they did it, but whatever happened there, okay, between you, that behavior left a mark on your conscience. You feel bad about it, whether you've expressed it or you're going to express it, or you've even been honest with yourself about it. It resonates now with you as I'm saying it, because I'm not going to go so far as to say you feel guilty, okay? Because I know you don't. But you, somewhere deep in there, repressed under all the positive stuff, yes, you feel bad. You know, maybe perhaps not guilty, but bad, sad about it, whatever it is. And you judge yourself because of it. You do. You do. And that will take away from this energy, which is not what you want. So for many reasons, I mean, you could just fix the situation because it's the right thing to do, because, you know, no one should be in our lives for any reason if we're making them feel like this, or if they're making themselves feel like this in our presence. That just shouldn't be happening. So taking care of that situation is great regardless, but taking care of it as you come into this really beautiful period of restructuring, contentment, solid foundations, solid financial foundations. You know, the cards are so clear, like, this is the thing that does not fit. What do you want to do about it? You can either turn it around or you can get rid of it. But something's got to go right now. This is the last structure that Saturn is shaking and going, what is this? And if you think you're going to be able to hold on to a destructive situation with Saturn in your first house, Capricorn, you crazy. You tripping all the way out, because that's not going to happen. Like, right out the gate, it was like, what's up? This is what we're talking about. You're talking about me the whole time. All right. So, I love you guys. I will be in New York in February. I will see you then.